Hello there everyone, my name is Sam and welcome back to my YouTube channel. Now, I'm bringing you this very important Bitcoin video, and yes, you've read the title right, it's not clickbait. 97% of people are gonna lose money in the very short-term perspective here on Bitcoin. So everybody is going out and screaming that we've seen an incredible squeeze in this flag, then we broke out, then we retested, and now we're going to, I don't know, $30,000, everything is looking so great, etc. So I decided to make this video. I want to go over some very important data that you have to keep in mind, and we have to understand some of the technicals that I think in this chart are looking very wrong, and my personal perspective and what I'm looking out for, and of course my current plan for a trade. I'm going to tell you exactly what kind of a trade I'm taking that has the most probability of being a successful trade, that is just based on professional trading and professional analysis. So if you want to learn how to do this professionally and properly, watch this video from the beginning and until the end. And as always, if you're brand new to the channel, please hit that subscribe button. There is a lot to learn here. This is one of the realest Bitcoin channels and cryptocurrency and trading channels in general. And don't forget to hit that notification bell while you're at it, because you really need to be notified when these videos come out, and you have to watch them from the beginning and until the end, as always, so that you get the most out of them. And as always, guys and girls, a small token of appreciation every time when I'm seeing a lot of likes on the videos. Let's get at least 2,000 likes on this video, because it motivates me to create this content every day, to do research every day, to save you hours of time every day. So for that reason, like the video, and also there is a share button below this video here on YouTube that you can use to share it on your social media, etc. Only if you feel like doing so, but if you don't feel like doing it, that's fine. At least still enjoy this incredible content. And without any further ado, let's just get right into it. And the first things first that we have to take a look at is going to be the news, then the technicals, and then my price targets and the trades that I'm looking out for. Then in my personal opinion, I'm going to be the best bet for the buck, so to speak. And of course, before we get into it, if you want to be trading yourself, longing or shorting Bitcoin, Ethereum, or any other cryptocurrency, then look no further than either Bybit or BitGet. And with my exclusive link down in the description or in the pinned comment, you can claim up to $12,100 in free initial deposit bonuses added to your account when you're making an initial deposit. Only if you use my link, otherwise you will not get those bonuses. All the instructions are down below when you click those links. And also remember that on BitGet, they are the biggest copy trading platform when it comes to crypto. Well, they also have spot market and derivatives and everything, just like any other exchange, but they also have a very big copy trading portfolio that you can actually copy some traders and have them trade for you. It's really cool. And also strategic trading, which is futures grid trading. And I'm going to link a tutorial to BitGet's copy trading right here if you want to check it out. Of course, it doesn't replace your own trading, but it can be a very good passive income when you know how to use it. So check out that tutorial. So first things first, let's get into some news. And let's start by talking about all the good stuff that everybody is saying. You know, everybody's looking at the chart, everybody's going absolutely crazy right now, that everything is just so beautiful, textbook patterns. But before we get too happy, let's just turn on that analytical skills and not be, you know, those Bitcoin maximalists, because in my opinion, even though I'm a Bitcoin bull, I think that Bitcoin maximalists are quite toxic and they often get people wrecked. As for us, here on this YouTube channel, we've made money this year. We've been trading proactively and we've done everything properly. We lost some trades along the way, but we have been short biased. So for us to actually flip to be long biased, well, watch this video. Well, let's not jump right into the conclusion of this video. So first thing, let's take a look at, you know, all these Bitcoin maximalists, what they're happy about. And that is going to be this thing, for example. And remember, if you want to stay updated, there is a link to my free Telegram channel down in the description of this video, a huge trading community that you can join for free and develop as a trader. So the first thing is that the stimulus checks, you know, announcement that Californians will get up to $1,050 in inflation relief checks. And this is something very similar to what we've seen, you know, during COVID, that, you know, a lot of stimulus checks, etc. These are, of course, this is not going to be as big, but nonetheless, you know, everybody is super happy that, you know, there's going to be some stimulus when there is free money in the market and people are getting free money. Some of that money ends up flowing to high risk assets, which is a fair point. But I don't, again, and I'm going to start giving my opinion here. Again, not financial advice, just my personal opinion. This is small. So I wouldn't be betting on, you know, Bitcoin going to the all-time high suddenly because of Californian $1,050 stimulus checks. But okay, let's move on. The next thing, the BitMEX founder, Arthur Hayes, updates Bitcoin forecasts and predicts Fed will be forced to print trillions of dollars. Now, this is more substantial. And by the way, I'm seeing my own ads everywhere as well. This is quite funny. And by the way, right now we just launched a recession special, since the in the market everything is so bad right now and in the world in general. So I'm gonna cover, if you want to learn proper ways of trading, professional trading, day trading, scalp trading, swing trading, long-term investing, stocks, futures, crypto, macro analysis, fundamental analysis, technical analysis, all of it in one place, proper trading statistics, and do it as a professional and get a certified diploma at the end, then you can join my famous university grade trading education. And there's going to be a link down in the description as well as in the pinned comment to a 50% recession special, limited to 500 seats. It's my gift to you during this hard time, which is called a recession, which is terrible. So I'm going to cover half of that expense. Go and join it right now. So, and this is certainly, when it comes to money printer being turned back on, this is going to be huge. Certainly it's going to send a lot of money to the high risk assets, and we've been talking about this for so long that this is going to take Bitcoin to the all-time high once they finally go from quantitative tightening to quantitative easing and turn on the money printer. And certainly, as he says here, that there is a lot of issues when it comes to Dixie, and this is something I told you about before as well, this one right here, that we are seeing some correction now, but in the weekly chart, we are seeing an incredible rise. So it's like, euro and dollar are trading at like 1-to-1 basically. And this, of course, a strong dollar for US economy, it's not a bad thing, but when it gets too strong, it starts to undermine the US economy and it starts to undermine the rest of the world as well. So this is what you have to be, this is what you have to also understand as a trader. And this is what Arthur Hayes is saying here, that he also said that if America is determined to defeat Russia through economic sanctions, the US must find a way to weaken the dollar against the yen and the euro. So certainly at some point when they're going to see that there is peak inflation, they're going to finally, go into quantitative easing, or at least turn off quantitative tightening. And that's what he's saying, that they're going to be forced to turn the money printer on, and this is, and again, print trillions of dollars to just fight this super strong dollar. And I agree with him, but let's again, everything at the end of this video, we'll put it all together in one big, beautiful, understandable pie. So next thing is Bitcoin hodling activity resembles previous market bottoms, and this is from Glassnode. I'm going to get into too much detail, but basically what they're saying is that according to the Glassnode chart, other times saw similar levels of Bitcoin hodling were during the end of bear markets of 2012, 15, and 18. So a lot of the things that we're seeing in on-chain data, and this is something we've discussed so many times before, is that we're saying that the Bitcoin is pretty much close to the bottom from the on-chain perspective, technical analysis as well, etc. But we all know that currently all these things are not as relevant as the monetary policy in the United States, the macro environment, etc. So in the macro environment, and especially the money printer being off, which was what we just discussed, this is the dominant effect. This is what has the most power over the Bitcoin price. So I wouldn't be giving too much weight to this anymore. But this is what what everybody is waiting for, and this is what everybody's so happy about, that we are in terms of the on-chain data, we are at the bottom here. They might start printing money again soon, and then stimulus checks are coming in, so more money in the markets. Everything is quite bullish. But when you, for example, take a look at, and now we're gonna get more to the dark stuff, so to speak. And for that reason, you're liking this video, because I'm the realist. I'm not just Bitcoin maximalist who's gonna get wrecked. So watch this video till the end and like the video like right now. So CME Bitcoin options, and this is basically the distribution between how many people in the options market and the CME are actually longing Bitcoin and how many are shorting Bitcoin. And currently we're seeing statistically 2 shorts for every long, so to speak, and see how much volume there is at $15,000 per Bitcoin. So smart money and big money is currently betting in terms of a short-term perspective, and of course as potentially as a hedge for their long-term Bitcoin holding, but nonetheless this speaks volumes in terms of the market sentiment, that it actually is expecting about the price to at least get to $15,000 in the near future. And this is what I've been saying as well. So in seeing these kinds of things, just trusting Glassnode and thinking that we're gonna just suddenly turn around is just not that probable. Is it possible? And the answer is yes. And if we're gonna be honest with one another, we will always say that anything is possible in the world of trading, but then our job is to understand what is more probable. That's all. So the probabilities are what we are after. And if, for example, we're gonna start adding on to certain probabilities, we're gonna see that this piece of price action that is supposed to resemble a breakout right here is supposed to be followed by some volume, right? But it's not. As you can see here, the volume is still steadily decreasing. So for that reason, in my personal humble opinion, this structure right here is just not, accurate. For me, the accurate structure is this one right here, which in my personal humble opinion is far more important and far more precise than the one that we've just had. So, and this would put us still being in this wedge going upward. And for that reason, I think that the most logical, and consequent action would be to actually short Bitcoin, but I'm gonna tell you from where. So we're saying that we're currently in this channel right here, our volume in the daily chart even, the daily is not over yet, maybe we'll get some volume, but I really doubt we're gonna get any huge volume. So for me, I'm sticking to my best case scenario, which is just a side movish activity with a potential break lower, for example, during the PCE data announcement, which is the interest rate announcement, which is going to happen on July the 29th, which you can see right here. And for me, I'm not going to be longing Bitcoin right now. If I'm wrong, I'm wrong, but the probability of it getting to something like 25, 26, 20, or even $30,000 right now, I would say about 20% probability. So betting on this probability is just stupid. So that's why I'm saying that 97% of people are going to lose money on this, in my personal opinion. Again, with a probability of about 80%. So, and because everybody seems to be longing Bitcoin right now. So while we are at the daily chart, let's take a look at the MA ribbon, and we are still in the middle of it. So for us to actually confirm a breakout and confirm that we actually are bullish, kind of, even technically currently, is for us to actually get past this level, which is level of 22,400, and this is the previous basically local high right here. So this is what we need to get past and actually close above and maybe retest this level, and then we need to get past 22,800, which is basically the resistance of this whole wedge anyway, and then the MA ribbon itself, and then we're going to be faced with a resistance at about $25,600, which is the resistance from this whole huge wedge from the daily chart or the weekly chart, whatever it is that you want to call it. So for me, in the current macro environment, the current volume, longing something at this moment right here is just blunt idiocy. It's just stupid. Again, not financial advice. You want to long it, go to Bybit, BitGet, use my link down below, claim the bonuses and long the hell out of it if you want to. But I'm not gonna long it. So it's also interesting to understand that you're gonna be longing it into insane resistance right here. And the same thing goes for let's take a look at S&P 500, and this is what people for some reason are not looking at. Let's turn off the volume, it's no longer any of use to us. And we're gonna see that you're gonna be longing into huge resistance in S&P 500 as well, which is, just look at it. This is gonna be a huge resistance right here, and I'm more inclined to believe that we have another leg down in Bitcoin and other cryptocurrencies and in markets in general than, a breakout. If we're gonna take a look at NASDAQ, then we're gonna see certainly some kind of, let's go to smaller time frame. We saw also a huge wedge, and we are seeing some kind of a half dead breakout here, a retest, and then move higher. Maybe it's gonna move, but this is just all so weak, so small, so insignificant that even if it works out, it's not something that I will be placing a lot of my money on. So then we also have to take a look at Bitcoin dominance. But you know what? It doesn't really tell us much. It's just floating in the middle. But then, what's interesting for us to take a look at is the chart, the dominance between Ethereum and Ethereum. No, not this one. The Ethereum and Bitcoin. This is what I want to see here, right here. So, and this is also something interesting, but this is more for your Ethereum holders, just like myself. So this is basically resembles the strength of Ethereum versus Bitcoin, and we saw this continuous uptrend the whole time in the history of the existence of Ethereum, and we saw this incredible support in the last few years here, and we just retested it, and we are actually moving higher. And this could be because of the market starting to realize that potentially Ethereum is a far more advanced token itself and the ecosystem, and especially when the merge is going to happen. But this is a topic for a separate video. Let me know down in the comments if you want me to make a video on whether I believe that Ethereum is going to at some point outperform outperform Bitcoin, both technically and as well as in terms of the market cap, which is quite possible, just to give you a hint. So when it comes to my trade that I'm ready to open, and that is going to be not, you've guessed it, not a long trade. My trade setup is going to be building a short trade from this area right here. So just, you know, trading, basically active swing trading during this time of, you know, consolidation and weakness in high risk assets. So right here, I want to really short it from about 22,800 and around 23 area, and then with a potential maybe to go lower with a target of about 20,600. This is what it actually could look like, and if it plays out, it's going to be an incredible, great way to make a lot of money with a very short stop and a very wide take profit, something like 5 to 1, 7 to 1, 10 to 1, etc. And of course, I'm going to keep you guys updated when I'm going to take this trade, etc. And join my Telegram channel down below once again. This is what I'm going to be looking out for, and I think that this is going to be far more probable to work out than, you know, a sudden break above to like 27k, which is again possible, just not very probable at this point. And the last but not least, also worth to mention that the reason why we got rejected here, well, for one, we had this resistance here, but also if we're going to go to the weekly chart and turn on the 200-week moving average, we're going to see this moving average, which has been an incredible support for us during the whole lifespan of Bitcoin. This support turned into a resistance, and this is what we are hitting on right now. It's like a girl, you know, and Bitcoin is hitting on it, basically. But yeah, this is a huge resistance for us right now, and really want to close above it. So, you know, that's why I'm saying that shorting from this area, from 23k, makes much more sense, or 23k area-ish. So anything that is, let's say, above 23k, and if we close above 23k with some volume and confirmation, maybe then, and plus, if we're gonna see, and this is a very important part of the video as well, and then if we're gonna see very good inflation results, inflation numbers on the July 29th, and it's gonna mark this peak inflation, it's gonna bring a lot of relief rally to the markets, which is very possible because of the US oil and what is happening right now. Again, it's bouncing, and this is what I don't like about it. So, and it actually bounced off of a 200-day moving average. Look, that's quite interesting. So currently we are still, let me turn on auto, we're still hovering, let me remove this, we're still hovering below this incredible support that we had for like basically 2 years or a year now. And if we're gonna stay below it and actually gonna consolidate or move lower, then this is gonna bring the inflation down dramatically. And if we're gonna get to the target of about $80 to $85 per barrel, this definitely is going to mark the peak inflation. And this is when I'm gonna finally flip bullish on Bitcoin and high risk assets. And this is when things like, you know, Arthur Hayes saying about the, you know, Fed printing trillions of dollars and a lot of that money ending up in high risk assets. This is when these kinds of things will come to fruition and will become actually relevant. But until then, I'm shorting the hell out of it. Again, not financial advice, just what I'm doing. I'm gonna link a tutorial to Bybit right here if you wanna learn how to use it properly, how to claim those bonuses, how to be a good trader, and how to analyze the market, and how to stay professional, so to speak. Then check it out. And as always, stay smart, stay rich, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye-bye.